And I'm trying really hard to wrap my brain around why she needs it.
Hello and welcome. That clip you just saw was from season 7, where Robyn is confused about why Meri wants to go back to college. I had actually posted a short here on this channel and over on TikTok. It's the same one, but it's about how Meri worries about Robyn whenever she is making a big change in her life. And I was showing how things haven't really changed since season 7 when she wanted to go to college, and now in season 18 when she wants to move her business to Utah. The clip at the beginning of this video just floors me though, because I don't understand how Robyn has trouble like wrapping her head around it. It only benefits the whole family if Meri goes back to college. It's only going to benefit them if they have more people earning more money. But all Robyn can see is my sister wife's closet and her own business and the amount of work she'll have to do if Meri is spending time doing something else. I do think Robyn thought my sister wife's closet was going to be so much more than it ever turned into. And I think she thought it was really going to take off. I mean, if you go back and watch those episodes, they talk about it like it's going to be something. Like they want to have home goods and they want to have stores. I don't know what made them think that. I guess just dreaming big. But I don't know why they would have ever called it my sister wife's closet either. There's a part of me that thinks just the name of the business was going to make it something that was difficult to sell. Like maybe I would go buy a piece of jewelry from them for the novelty of having something from the show and the women on the show. But I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but I'm not going out of my way to buy something from Polygamist. I guess that's what I'm saying. Like the name of the business didn't necessarily help them any. And there are people that are really opposed to polygamy that wouldn't even give this business the time of day because of the name of it. But I'm getting off track a little bit. I want to go back to focusing on Meri and Robyn's relationship. I'm going to throw in a clip here from back in season 7.
And I don't think I can have another baby unless the workload that I am
lightens up.
If you're wondering why I cut that clip up the way I did, it's because Robyn doesn't finish her sentence. She has a really dramatic moment where she starts to cry and then Cody finishes it, and I couldn't put in a clip that long, so I cut out her silence. But essentially at this point in the show, Cody knows Meri wants to go back to college. When Meri told him that she wanted to go back, his response immediately was like, I'm okay with it, but I don't know about Robyn. So Robyn is an issue immediately for Meri when Meri wants to do something that's super important to her. And back in this episode, it's season 7, episode 1, Meri says it's her dream to go to college. It's her dream to go back to work, and that she really loved the job she had back in Utah, and she wants to go back to doing that. But she's still nervous because everyone's focused on Robyn's dream, which is my sister wife's closet. I wanted to put that clip in of Robyn talking about having another baby because I think it helps us see a little bit more into Robyn's thinking. She was worried about this business that she dreamed of having, and she wanted to have another baby. So she's sort of centered on herself. I do have a question for you guys though. How many hours a week do you think Robyn spent working on my sister wife's closet? And I mean that sincerely. I have no clue how much time it would take to start a business up like that. I'm just wondering if she was working at like a full-time job or 10 hours a week, 20. What do you guys think she was doing there? But I do want to point something out. What Robyn is thinking about and what she's worrying about is something women worry about all the time. Women frequently worry about how much work they're doing and if they have childcare and if they need a nanny, if they need help at work. This is not something that's special to Robyn. And she's actually in a slightly better position because she does have Christine there. We know she won't utilize Christine, but Christine would help her. Now I'm going to put in the clip of Meri actually telling Robyn that she's going to go back to school. And if you can, watch their facial expressions and just watch how this whole thing is going down.
And I'm going to go back to college. And I'm going to do it starting fall semester.
Doesn't this remind you of anything? It's like the most somber conversation ever. And here she is telling her she wants to go back to college. It looks a lot like the conversation on the couch where she tells her that she wants to move the business to Utah. Both things that would benefit Meri's life. And they have to be all serious and formal and acting like something bad is going to happen. It feels like if they were close at either one of these points, Meri would have been sharing with Robyn that she was thinking about doing it before she actually took the plunge and applied and decided to do it. I just feel like they were never as close as Meri thought they were. Meri tells Robyn that this is important to her, and she worries if she doesn't do it now, that she'll never do it. But listen to what Robyn says during a confessional about when Meri told her that she wanted to go back.
When Meri told me that she wants to go back to school, it took me everything in me not to just walk out the door.
It's so funny. I keep having to cut the clips of Robyn talking because she does this dramatic pause, and she has really mastered it a lot better than her crying. Like, her dramatic pauses are just at the right spot, and she looks to the side, and then I have to cut them because it's like 10 seconds of just silence. So you can hear it there. She wants to walk out the door when she hears this news from Meri. I just think the response here is really bizarre, but I think it's because she's being selfish. I think she's thinking only of herself. I think the other wives made it perfectly clear. They made it clear to the viewers of the show they wanted to help do this, but this wasn't what they were about. I think Janelle specifically was the most vocal that this wasn't her type of business, but My Sister Wives Closet wasn't her type of business. And I think Meri's kind of doing the same, but Robyn is just focused on what she wants.
What she's talking about is going to school to maybe possibly start a career that's completely separate from what it is we're trying to do.
Meri tries to express to Robyn that she'll be there to help with My Sister Wives Closet, but that's not actually her own dream. She wants to go to college. She wants to go get this career. But Robyn is really focused on the fact that this would mean Meri will be leaving her and not helping her focus on fulfilling her own dream, which is to start the jewelry line and the boutique, instead of rooting for Meri to go and kind of, accomplish the things that she wants to accomplish. I think Robyn is really good at also saying the things that Meri wants to hear. Like, Meri wants to feel wanted. She wants to feel like she has people that want her in the family. So I'm going to throw in this next clip so you can see their interaction. They're still sitting there at the same conversation where Meri said she wanted to go to college, and listen to what Robyn says to her.
I just don't want to lose you. That's all.
You're not.
Okay.
Better believe me.
That's the same stuff we hear Robyn sort of say here in season 18. I want Meri to stay. Stick with me. We were in this together. I'm going to go ahead and put in a clip from season 18 so you can see the similarities close together.
As long as you're really, truly going to still be here often.
I'm going to have a house. I'm going to have an address. I'm going to be here.
It's the same thing, but now we know Robyn doesn't even really talk to Meri that much. Meri says that Robyn doesn't communicate with her. So when this scene ends, you can tell that Robyn's not very happy, but she is talking to Meri. She's just having a little bit of a hard time. So later on in the next episode, they get together for lunch, and Meri says, I think the conversation didn't go well. And Robyn tells her it was just hard for her to hear the news.
I just want to tell you I'm in support of what you're doing. It took me a minute. It took me a little bit to kind of get over the initial shock. I am feeling anxious because I don't know where it's going to lead you.
I had to throw that in because I think it's such a weird thing to say. It's a weird thing to worry about. If someone came to me and was like, I'm going to college, I would think it was leading them to getting a degree and getting a job. But Robyn is really worried that Meri's going to become successful, at least that's how I perceive it, become successful and leave the family. I'm going to put in a clip here. I do want to let you know that I took the music out of the background and that changes the audio a little. So Robyn's going to sound a bit different. But listen to what Robyn says here.
I see her wanting to go to school, and that's great, but how far is that going to take her away from the family? And that's what I'm concerned about.
She goes on to say that she's afraid that Meri's going to get a life outside of the family, and that will take her away from My Sister Wives Closet, the family, and she actually says, I'm worried that will take her away from me. Now here's my thing. I want you to think about this in any other situation. What if they weren't sister wives and they were two friends? this would be weird. What if they were husband and wife? What if a husband was trying to hold his wife back from doing something? We would all have a problem with that. And reverse it. Same-sex partners. A wife doing this to her husband. There's no way, there's no gender, no orientation, no nothing, no relationship where it's normal to try to hold someone back from doing something that would better them because you're worried that person is going to leave you.
I just have to give you the room to go do it and not be, selfish and a jerk about it.
I appreciate that Robyn used the word selfish and was able to realize that's what she was doing when she responded to Meri the way that she did. So we're going to take a big leap because all of that happened back in season 7. Now we're in season 18 and we're seeing the same sort of thing happen again. It's funny, there's actually a part of this where Jen and Meri are at the B&B and Meri tells Jen she hasn't told Robyn that she wants to move the clothing business to Utah. And she says she's been wanting to, but there's no good time to do it. What's funny about this is, number one, I don't think the conversation went the way that Meri expected, but also Gwendolyn over on her Patreon said that when Meri left and moved her business, no one knew about it. No one said a word about it. Robyn didn't mention it. Cody didn't mention it to any of the kids or anyone. She just went and no one noticed. Which Meri predicted that. She said that no one would care, but you would think at some point Robyn or Cody might have mentioned it to one of the kids, specifically the ones that were there in Flagstaff. It might have made its way around to the family members, but according to Gwendolyn, it didn't. So Meri is sitting during a confessional and talking about the situation with telling Robyn about this. And she actually says that Robyn's going to have a problem with it. I'm going to go ahead and throw the clip in so you can see it.
Because I feel like she's the only one who's really going to care and is honestly going to kind of have a problem with it.
I'm surprised that Meri's even worried about it. If someone wasn't talking to me very much and it was clear they weren't communicating with me and we were supposed to be really close and it went on for years and years during a pandemic, I'd just call them up and be like, hey, I wanted to let you know I'm moving my business. I wouldn't really give it any thought. A part of me kind of hopes, honestly, it is for the show, because it would make me sad if Meri's actually worrying about Robyn a lot when I don't think Robyn worries about her at all. Now, I pointed out back in season 7, when it came to the college conversation, they acted very somber and serious, and it was formal, and they got together to share the news like it was something tragic. Once again, we see that in season 18. Listen to what Robyn says.
Meri doesn't have good news for me. I can already tell from the way that she's talking to me.
I guess Robyn does have a point. It is Meri that initiates these conversations and treats them the way that she does. So in some ways, this all goes back to Meri, but at the same time, Meri is worried at Robyn because Robyn responds selfishly to things, and Robyn is Meri's only link back to the family that she desperately wants to be on the good side of again. Robyn's concerns haven't changed since season 7. She is worried that when Meri starts moving her stuff to Utah, she will just move away from the family.
Is she gonna just keep putting more pieces there of herself there that will eventually take her there all the way?
I don't defend Robyn often, but I will say in this situation, I kind of understand it. If you're close to someone and care about them, you might worry that they're moving and going to spend more time in a different city or state, and they will eventually just be there all the time. So I kind of understand this one, but what I don't understand when it comes to Robyn and Meri is it's clear they don't actually talk that much, and it's clear that for years there's been no progress when it comes to Cody and Meri's relationship. So I don't understand why they continue to fake it. At this point, it's so clear that there are cracks in all of the relationships. It just doesn't seem sincere at all anymore. And it makes me question, even back in season 7, were they that close? I don't think it was a healthy relationship that they had together as sister wives. I don't think it was good for Meri. But it just has me questioning everything that's been on this show. I mean, they faked a lot for TV. Let me know what you thought. Go ahead and leave a comment. I don't always have the time to reply to all of them, but I do read them. I love hearing everyone's different opinions. And if you haven't already, go ahead and click like and subscribe.